So I get the question all the time, does it snow in Texas? Well, right now we're standing in North Dallas and the answer is yes. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. We're so happy to have you. If you want to know everything that there is to know about moving, buying, selling in and around Dallas, Texas, this is the channel for you. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button so that you can be up to date on the latest and greatest in the Dallas housing market. Right now, we are standing in what Texas calls a blizzard. This is one of the things that doesn't happen all the time. It happens periodically every few years, but we get a lot of clients that ask us, does it snow in Texas? And the answer to that question, it definitely is yes. So one thing that you have to take into consideration is the stores and the supplies, the grocery stores. A lot of times when you have a snow like this, the deliveries are going to be delayed because of the roads. You want to make sure that you stock up on the essentials: milk, bread, eggs, whatever it is that you all have as far as the staples for your household and the staples for your kitchen. You want to make sure that you kind of stock up on those things, fuel for your vehicle, things like that. And it's just because when you have a snow like this, there's not a lot of opportunity for you to get out on the roads and get to the stores. And so you really want to take this time to be able to enjoy the weather, to be able to have, like snowball fights. This is the perfect consistency for a snowball fight if you have a family. Sometimes when we have a snow like this, we end up also having power outages. That is one thing that you want to make sure that you prepare for, just in case there's a situation with the power. Things like candles, fire starter logs. Most of the homes here in the North Dallas area are going to have functional fireplaces. Some of the new construction will have gas lit fireplaces, as well as different types of fireplaces that you can use that will be heaters. Generally speaking, most of the homes that are established, that were built in the 90s, 2000s, they're going to have fireplaces. You also are going to have lots of access to actual firewood. So there's going to be a lot of places where you can go, you can purchase firewood from different tree companies that are around, and then you can stock up some of those supplies in your backyard ready to go in case there's a situation like this. Every now and again we will have a power outage, and it's just one thing that you want to make sure that you prepare for. And just having some of those staples like what we talked about from the grocery stores, bottled water, candles, fire starter logs, things like that, to make sure that you're protecting your family. Just because the snow here in Dallas is not nearly it doesn't happen as nearly as often. It's one of those things that you want to make sure that you prepare for it beforehand. So today is a snow day, and the schools here in North Dallas have been closed. My family in particular, we've been snuggled up inside next to the fire, and it's just one of those days where we have enjoying the winter break, enjoying the weather. The snow isn't something that happens all the time, and whenever it does come, it's an enjoyment for families. The snow here in the North Dallas area is, sometimes it will stick and sometimes it won't. This snow in particular it's sticking so that you can, have snowmen and snowball fights and that sort of thing. It's just going to be a really fun time for the family to be able to enjoy the full winter seasons of the North Texas area. And it's just one of those things that right now it is about 28 degrees. It's been snowing for most of the morning. The big thing is going to be the roads. Now, the snow, if it sticks, then you won't have any issues driving on the roads. But what we have here in North Dallas is called black ice, which means that sometimes you cannot see the ice that's on the road. And so it's not in the best interest. If you can be inside, we want to make sure that you stay inside during those times and you're not driving on the roads, especially on the bridges and overpasses. The black ice can be there. Now, one thing they do have here in North Texas is they have sand and salt trucks, and they will, cover over the overpasses. The snow will and the ice will melt, and then you can safely drive across. But generally speaking, it's just not in your best interest to be driving on the roads. So we also get the question about what happens if the snow doesn't stick. Well, that's when we have a real problem with the roads, where we have just slush, and it starts to actually just kind of seem like rain. You can see here in the road where there's water here. Now this water will eventually freeze, and this is what's happening all across the metroplex, which is why it makes it difficult for vehicles to get around and for delivery trucks to be able to make their deliveries on time. The slush will turn into black ice, and then the black ice, you won't be able to see it on the road because it's going to be covered by a thin layer of snow, which is why it makes it difficult for you to get around during this time. The school systems have shut down the schools for the day, and the public administration buildings are all shut down, and it's because of this slush that you can see that's covering the roads. So as we've been filming, the snow has turned into more of precipitation. And the precipitation is a little thing that we talked about earlier, where you want to be very careful about that if you're driving on the roads, because the precipitation can turn into ice. The temperatures here are in the 20s now, and we don't anticipate that it's going to warm up for the next couple of days. And so if you have snow that's turned into precipitation, the likelihood that it's also going to turn into ice is very, very high. And that's what dampens your ability to be able to move around and for delivery trucks to be able to be completed. And it's just a better situation for those companies to just hold off on making the delivery. So you want to make sure that you've prepared for things like this. Now, this just really gives you a good idea of what it's like living in and around Dallas, Texas. As you can see on my jacket here, it's more of water than it was earlier in the video where there was snow. The snow was much more flaky, but now it's kind of turned into a sleet/rain. This is very characteristic of what happens here in the North Dallas area. Normally we have more sleet and rain than we do actual snow, but we do have freezing temperatures. So every single year we will have freezing temperatures, especially in January, February, right in the heart of the winter time. We do have freezing temperatures, and a lot of times they go right along with the rain and sleet that you see here. Also, we want to hear from you. If you all have been in the North Dallas area during a winter storm and you have an experience that you'd like to share with us, please let us know. We'd like to know what your experience has been, how you all were able to cope with what the weather changes that we have here in the North Dallas area. It's one of those things where it's always good to share valuable information so that we also know how to protect our families. And so this is one of the things that we wanted to do in this video. If this is your first time to the channel, please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you can stay up to date on the latest and greatest in the Dallas housing market. My name is Cameron, and I've lived in Dallas my whole life, and the purpose of the channel is to kind of share with you guys a little bit more about what it's like to live in Dallas from someone that's an insider here. So if you're looking to move in 3 days, 3 months, 6 months, we want to hear from you. There's a link above where you can book a Zoom call with us. There's also our telephone number is there in the description, and you can shoot us an email. We love to be able to hear from you and connect with you and see how we can best help you with your smooth move to Dallas. That's going to be it for today, but feel free to check out all the other videos that we have there on the different suburbs, and until next time, we'll see you.